What's up, guys? Welcome to Dojo Rescue, the first call-in show. And look, if you're out there in Facebook land and you're interested in jumping up on a call with us, asking us a particular question, or maybe even just typing in on the comments for us to help you guys grow your business, then go for it. So who is these handsome young gentlemen here?
Me. Well, look, you guys should already know me, Graham McDonald. I'm the loud one out of the two, which used to be the duo. We're now the trio. So again, with some of the promos that you guys would have seen, my speciality, what I like to bring to the party is all about leadership. It's about leadership both from a generation of staff point of view, but education on how to grow your staff behind the scenes, how to develop strong leaders that are running your company, your business. So pretty much everything in staff development and leadership training, that's what I got my teeth into. Now, this fine gentleman beside me right here to my left, Eddie, so take it away, mate.
You can say it as it is. You're the big dog. That's what it really is.
Nice.
The enforcer. So yeah, look guys, what I do is I actually do the marketing and sales training and as well as lead generation for Weimar. It's a big job. A lot of students, a lot of inquiry, a lot of sleepless nights. But that's what it takes. Like honestly, a lot of people look at marketing, they just think, oh yeah, we'll just stick some money on it and here comes some leads, and it's obviously way more than that.
Yeah.
So of course there's the nuances to it.
It's quite funny actually. I just had a coaching client in before who runs a very successful gym here in Western Australia, and I spoke to him about a year ago and gave me some information. He goes, no, I won't need that. Won't need that.
Yeah.
And then grown to a point where he goes, I need that. So it's an interesting thing that sometimes the way that we talk and the processes are future planning processes. And again, we've had some challenges in our business where we've grown, the systems we had in place didn't grow with us. Yep. Therefore, we've had to reinvent the wheel, we've had to go back, and therein lies the problem itself. So all the education we give you and the advice from yourself and also from what Phil's about to share with you is scalable, and it has to be scalable. Whether you're a smaller school that wants to grow to a larger or run into multiple schools, the stuff that we're about to share with you is absolutely dynamite. So trust me, like I said, this guy 12 months ago, he goes, man, I wish you had listened. So hey, all good though.
Yeah, I had George's mum.
For the viewers
George's
and the
mum
guys that
called
like,
me.
we need to volume it up so we can all hear it.
We'll reiterate the question here, but anyway, Robert, what's some of the challenges you're facing right now, mate?
Moving forward, like.
Phil's the tech savvy bloke, and he keeps hanging up
End
on.
and accept. So how do you? Anyway,
We got moving forward.
Yeah, we're getting there. All right, here we go.
we're on, mate. George's mum's gonna stop calling me.
Yeah, just leave it.
Go for it, mate.
You know, since I've been with you guys, which is not very long, I've had a lot of information to kind of download and get sorted in my mind. And I think navigating that minefield of what to do first is where it's at. You know, every school that's in this group, I guess, are either wanting to create instructors or wanting to grow membership. And it's that old chestnut of closing the back door and bringing in more people. And we all generally, I would imagine, have great services and great martial arts. It's like serving that out to the masses and getting people into our thing rather than cricket or footy.
So is the question is like, with all the information out there, sort of where do you start?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
You and I have had chats.
Yeah.
And I kind of think I know where I'm at.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's like.
I can give you a strategy here, and I'm going to throw it to Graham because I know that when we've gone away on trips to America and anywhere else, or seminars and everything, you come home with this massive list of things that you want to do, and you're like, well, where do I freaking start? So, Graham, what have we done in the past?
Look, what we tend to do is detail the list that you have and write it out as thoroughly as you possibly can do, like a wish list. And then itemize what you're going to see the impact on, what you can initially do straight away, what's going to take maybe a month to implement, what's going to take a year to implement. And then also have the consequence on your student and also your staff members. So for example, we've had some processes that we wanted to change systematically from a grading point of view, but our staff were just not at a mindset level to accept that yet. So we sort of shared that with them. the major changes. They look, simmer on this, and in 6 months' time or 12 months' time, we'll revisit this. So we actually talk about, we do a symposium. And what that is a collection of your immediate staff. Now, Robert, do you have anybody that you have working with you on a regular basis, or you just have instructors coming in offhand, or you're a solo one-man band?
Myself, man. I do it all. I have black belts here up to 4th degree in Taekwondo, and I have some purple belts in Jiu-Jitsu.
Yep.
So they're pretty advanced. And if I need a cover, I go, hey, come in.
Yep.
And they'll happily do so, whether they're rewarded or they're just happy to do that.
Yep.
I'm here most of the time, and going forward, I'm going to need to do more than that.
Well, look, something that has helped us to do with any person that you have in your business and your school, change can be difficult for them to embrace. So having black belts and 4th dans and high-level jiu-jitsu guys, they may see the improvements you're making in your business as sometimes like, whoa, what are you doing? We're used to the old way. So sharing with them first and foremost what your aspirations are. Not that you probably need to run it by them, but just, hey guys, by the way, we're looking to become a more professional outfit, or we want to impact the community a bit more. We want to try and attract a few more clientele. So you guys are going to see a few more new things that I'm going to bring in. Love your support. These are the few things that we're going to cover. So it's just more about communicating what it is that you want to accomplish. Now, the luxury of having your own school and being a one-man band, you don't really report to anyone else, but as you grow in your staffing and instructor size, you do need to take that in consideration, that they like to be informed as much as they don't make the decisions. It's nice to make them feel like they've got some sort of input as well too.
Fantastic. They're all things that are in my head, and as I say, I think writing it down is always cathartic in moving forward. You have that plan that's there.
Yeah, for sure. And look, with any plan and any time frame, it allows you very quickly to just go, you know what, that's really something I'm going to put on the back burner. It was a great idea at the time, but as I move forward in the weeks or months of implementing different things, that particular project may need to simmer. And an example of that is, like I said, with this grading format, myself and Phil were in the US probably a couple of years ago, and we sat on the idea of our different grading system or format of what we run it, and it took us 2 years to implement it. That wasn't that we weren't, it wasn't that it wasn't front of mind, it just wasn't ready and it wasn't the right time yet. So it's always nice to have things on a piece of paper and a list, and just keep adding to it and taking things off as you implement and you sort of move forward.
Cool, man. So, guys, what I want to quickly shoot to you, Eddie, because I know you've been working with a couple of clients recently, and whenever I deal with guys as well, it's all about this, like, I don't have enough leads. I want more people. I want to grow my school. But
that's right.
What are you finding the biggest challenge or the issue or whatever that might mean for you?
Yeah, I think, look, leads are important, right? They have to be important for any business. You can't have new customers coming in without new, fresh clientele, right? Yeah. But in a bigger sense of things, it depends on where the business is at.
Yep.
Some businesses have a lot of leads, they're just not converting them. Right?
Yeah.
So, like, you might look at a business, and I had one of these the other day where I was looking at them going, wow, you guys have got plenty of leads, you're just not selling to them.
Yeah.
So they need sales training, essentially, right? And so, especially in this case, it's like, well, where do I begin? Or how long is a piece of string in a sense? It's actually, the question is, what is your end goals?
Yep.
Right? So what's your vision for the whole thing overall? Because that'll drive you to get through the shitty stuff.
I know that something myself and Phil used to do when we'd go out to the individual schools, and for you guys who are new to this series, you may want us to come and visit you guys, which is always good too. But I know that we used to do an audit, and think of it like we talked about, Robert before on the client call there was talking about, having, plugging the bucket or plugging the hole in the bucket. Well, we used to pour a lot of water in the top of the bucket and see where the holes were. And that is, a part of a process, because what one business has an issue with, like you said, converting sales, the next school who's looking for the same stuff could be completely different again too.
It's the same with us with our leads with the bucket, right? We filled the bucket up, and we had hundreds and hundreds of leads coming in the last couple of months, and then there's a few leads lost here, a few lost there. If you don't have an email, you can't put them in here. If you don't have them contacted quick enough, you lose them there. If they come in from different sources. So
well, something just before I hand to you, Phil, something I spoke to again in the last sort of coaching session was this particular school owner had done a great campaign, got a ton of leads, got like 80 to 100 leads, gave them to his crew, Sadly, their systems and procedures in-house weren't up to point, and those 80 to 100 leads were now cold leads. They weren't addressed and converted straight away. So
198 leads.
So you know what I'm saying? Like it's one of those things where more is not always better.
Yeah.
I think it very much has a part to play. Like if you've got the wrong staff doing the job role and they're not trained right, doesn't matter how many leads you push in, you're not going to get the numbers you need. So
the other thing on that is that often a client will look at, or a martial arts school will look at leads and think, well, this is a good lead and this is not a good lead, right? And typically that will be people that walk in or referred or through our website, they're great leads.
Yeah.
Or people who are from our YouTube or our Facebook or our Instagram advertising, they're not good leads, right?
Yeah.
But it's not that one is good and one is not. They're all leads are the same.
Yep.
The difference is where they're at in their biobehavior.
Yep.
Right? So some of those leads you need to have a strategy and work them through to warm them up.
Yep.
And people forget that. So it's easy to abandon a process if you look at it and go, okay, well, let's run this process. It doesn't work, so we're not going to run it again. Maybe we're not working it right? And that goes for things like strategic alliances. So, we never talk about strategic alliances publicly with all the schools because we do a lot of it.
Yep.
You want your local coffee shop that's 100 metres, 50 metres away, that's having 1,000 customers a week, to be handing out one of your 7-day free trial vouchers to every single customer,
All right. Well, look, this is something that we've done a lot with our leadership development program. So, for example, when we do our leadership training, we will actually take a range of different students. And you may find you've got students who are older in age and they're not necessarily the fit to lead a class, but they've got a beautiful personality. And again, we then not farm them off, but direct them towards a different role. So, for example, I've got some big hitters who are absolutely dynamite at running a class. They're a great assistant. That's how they learn. I've had some older ladies who we just felt that were a great, ambassador for your school, but we then direct them and say, look, we think you'd make a great fit in the administration behind the scenes stuff. And what they do is they almost do on-the-job training there and upskill themselves. They're learning the processes with the promise of, if we reach a point and you do a great job, there may be potential in 3 months' time to offer you that position.
Yeah.
Again, it's a little bit like work experience. The idea behind that is you're really trying to help people understand you are a great advocate of the school. We want to give you an opportunity, but to do that, I've got to train you in that role, and therefore it's an unpaid. So they're kind of working with the potential to getting that job. But hey, look, you can't promise the world, because if you say you're going to promise it, suddenly they're not the right fit, you're kind of stuck.
Yeah, I mean, like interns.
Yeah.
Interns is a huge thing in the marketing industry, right? And it's the same thing. You've got to figure out what is their motivation to work, if it's at a low paid or, you've got to give them some other incentive.
Look, for sure, there's ways that you can reward students, even volunteers, in ways that money may not necessarily be their driving force. That may be something they want a career, they want to actually get a job out of that. I know we found it very difficult having that contra, and to explain what that is, swapping their membership fee for work. I wouldn't recommend schools do that. We've tried it in the early days and failed miserably because
not a good move.
People end up forgetting there's an actual, there's jobs to do. And when Phil, if we're doing contra, he's away for a few days, I'm onto him going, hey, you got to catch up, but then it just becomes very, very messy. So if you're ever going to get someone to volunteer, make sure there's an end game on that and there's an objective that you're trying to accomplish. So that is, do this for this period of time. We're going to upskill you with the potential to offer you a part-time position as the income increases in that role.
All right, mate. We'll go back to the sales question.
Yeah, sales. So your sales strategy, the question was exactly like, what should your sales strategy be, right? Essentially, any income inquiry, it doesn't matter where it comes from, should then funnel into the same sales strategy most of the time. And there is some nuance on it, but it should be bring that person in to see the dojo, right? So they're not going straight into a class. Typically, a mistake that a lot of dojos will make is they'll go, here's a free trial class, book them straight into the class. You've got too much going on because you've got people in the class already. You don't have enough hands to cater to your clients and that person. And then they come in, do a class and roll out and they disappear, right? And then there's not good follow-up on those leads. So it's better to have them come into an intro session. That first intro session should be 20, 30 minutes. And in that session, you will roll them through an actual sales process, but it should have a little bit of pad work or some moves so that they feel comfortable going into their first class.
It's about like, when you buy a car, I was going to say, Eddie, you tend to sit in the car and you listen to the engine and you get the feel for it. It's even dare I say it, when you go to buy a bed, they get you to lay down on the freaking bed. Okay, you get your shoes on. It's still one of those things where they
You're
get
not going
to
to sleep.
No,
you're not going to sleep on the bed, but you'll lay on it. So you're getting the feel of it.
Exactly right.
It's a try. It's a sort of not a full trial, but it's a try before you buy.
You're getting an understanding for going. Yeah, look, I like this. This is a good fit for me.
Yeah, that's right. And then the other thing you want to do really is that those people coming in should be signing up to your membership after your trial, essentially, because look, what do they come in for? People come in for fitness.
Yep.
They come in to join a community. They come in to build their confidence. They come in for self-defense. These are the things people do martial arts for, right? Realistically, are you going to do that in a week trial? So no, and they know that.
Yeah.
Right? The customer knows that this is a try before they buy it. So what do we need to do with them? Well, it's really only 3 things. So without going through all the sales process and everything, it needs to fit them. They need to feel they fit, right? It's the 3 Fs. They need to know that the features that they want are there.
Yep.
And they need to know it fits their finance, right? So the 3 Fs, fit, features, finance. And as long as it fits and the features are there, the finance doesn't actually matter that much, right? People want to have something solve their problem. If it actually solved their problem of fitness, right? Finance, that really goes out the window. Because how many people waste $1,500 or $1,000 a year on a gym membership they never use? Well, I know the actual figure, right? It's 99% of people. So the average person on a gym membership, their average use is once every 6 months, which is virtually nothing, right? Sure, people come in and use a lot, but there's others that don't. That is actually a waste of money. So when people say, have this price objection, I would be asking the customer, are you worried about cost or price? Because the cost to you is losing out on your money that you're throwing on other things or supplements or using something you don't use. Or are you worried about price, as in, can you afford to do it because you want the fit and features so much, right? And they're totally different things, and people forget that. So that's just a few little tips on it. But from those intros, you should really be rolling people and looking at their goals.
But see, that's the thing. Like traditionally in the past, and I know we're exploring that sort of option with us, where it just goes straight into it. Traditionally, though, people are just purchasing that package, and they're not actually getting them to sign their membership agreement. So
that's their problem. Right?
Well, this is what we're chatting about here is we need to make sure, and from what I'm understanding as well too, and Phil, we've done this years ago, was awesome. You're getting so busy with bringing people in. You've got all these vacant spots that you're filling with new leads. But by the time you get around to signing them up, there's no spots to actually book them into that sign up. So therefore they kind of start to fall out, or you don't catch them in time, or you miss that sort of boat. So again, we've got some solutions around that, how we're working that now with obviously the help of Eddie and our staff, so that they are doing the trial, they're purchasing that, but then converting straight into a membership. And I guess we'll share that next time. We'll keep that secret just here. But I know it's really important that you straight away in your sign up meeting, guys, if you're doing your trial, is book their sign up meeting. So if Phil's come in for that 2 weeks, he's purchased a 2 week trial. On that day, I'm going to book 2 weeks ahead a sign up meeting to sit down to make sure that it's already there. So I'm scheduling that in so we don't miss out on that.
100%.
That's exactly right. And I mean, you can decrease the risk on that one as well, because it's not, we wouldn't be saying to a customer it's a sign up meeting. It's really an
information session.
It's an evaluation of their trial, how they go, all that sort of stuff.
For sure.
It's always got to be about the actual client.
Definitely.
And their needs and their problems, rather than us signing them per se.
That's exactly right.
And really, that's what we should be doing. It should be about the client, right? And so the more that we can show them how much we do care, then there's our advocates.
100%.
And they're the people that will refer.
Well, guys, that's bringing us, I think, to pretty much the end of today's call, unless anyone has any further comments before we roll on in. But I hope you've enjoyed today's live cast, having the Three Musketeers here, and enjoying the live show podcast. So changing things. I think there's a lesson within the lesson is everything should evolve, everything should improve. Innovate or die, and we're always looking at bettering, if that's even a word, the service that TIMA provides, and that's why we wanted to partner with Eddie, because I knew that he could offer something to this company and to you guys, the clients, that we couldn't. and that's why we're together. Is moving forward. Dojo Rescue is not necessarily rescuing people who are struggling, but just giving you the tips, the tools, the strategies to go from where you are to where you want to be. So if you want to be part of the show in some way, shape, or form, please, guys, ask questions. Ask for the booking link. We'll get you on a phone call. We'll answer your comments. We'll do everything we can on as much regular basis as we can. But without you asking the questions, we can't answer them.
Hey guys, just heading into that sort of role, we're going to be travelling a little bit later this year. We've got some stuff. We're heading to Sydney. We're obviously heading overseas very shortly. But we may even do one of these Dojo Rescues live in Sydney, Sydney event. So if you guys want to come down and actually be kind of live in the studio, or even have us come to your dojo and do an audit, be ready for the truth. That's something we can obviously hit up and organise, but you guys have got to request it. You've got to make it happen, so that way we know who you are, where you are, and see if we can get that alignment going on.
Guys, if you want to be part of the next week, chuck a comment below or message us through the page, and we will set up to answer any questions you want. Just remember, the coaching is free. We do provide services for people, but we're actually here to help, and it costs you nothing.
That's it, guys.
Go.
The bat phone will work next time.
Yes.
But the bat phone will work next time. I'll better up the credit on the TIMA phone call. But we'll make sure that we make it a little bit more seamless next time.
Yeah.
All right, guys.
Catch
Ciao.
you later.
Catch you next time.